Huh?
So anyway, always being a registered voter and voting and keeping abreast as much as I could in politics, my heart is broken because giving a microphone a blowjob, saying calling America garbage, and all the things that he said, you know, caused Americans to vote against Kamala Harris. And now some could say because she's a woman, some could say because she's black.
Well, some are saying in defense. Hold on, hang on. In defense of the Republicans, some are saying that Kamala Harris did a horrible job in promoting her agenda, answering questions, taking interviews. Did you see any of that? I mean, how do you think she was as a how was she as a candidate? How was she to you?
My opinion was that was the media slamming her because I watched her and I thought she did a good job. I remember when she was running for president, and I thought she's going to have to shake off some of that because she still had a little bit of that, blackness, if you will, black woman, kind of like a mad black woman.
Well, speaking of her having a blackness, I had an African American call in on the show last night, and he said that's primarily the reason he did not vote for her is because she started suddenly saying she was black when she used to go across as Indian. Did any of that racial stuff on Kamala affect you at all?
No, I mean, to me, she worked her way up, ran, 8 years ago, didn't make it, and then got selected by Biden to be the vice president. She probably was more involved, or maybe not as much as Biden when he was vice president for Obama, but I mean, everything they said, in other words, she wasn't the border czar. She was never appointed somebody to oversee these people bought everything that he said. So that's America.
Yeah. Now I got a viewer on YouTube is saying, get ready for American isolationism, suggesting we're going to bow to Putin. How do you think that whole Ukraine, Russia, do you see where Trump may start bowing down to people who used to be considered our adversaries?
Well, let me tell you that you can define it how you want it, but he's going to pull back on support for Ukraine, and Putin's going to go in there and take it over. And because Trump doesn't care, I think he is a soulless man to me, and I just hope that somebody, FBI, call me if you want. I just hope somebody else is more successful than the other two.
I know you're talking about the whole ear fiasco. You're saying you wish that round had been a little bit closer to his skull.
I wish it had been a Marine doing it. How's that? If he could sit there and tell the what's her name from Wisconsin, or Wyoming that, guns.
Liz Cheney.
Yeah, so. Wow. Or Ted Nugent saying that he's going to shoot Obama himself or some shit like that and never spend a day in jail.
So now I'm asking, what I've been asking the callers is, under his second term, will we be less divisive or more divisive, or will it be more the same? Now you're calling for the man to lose his life. Are you not being divisive?
He's going to be more divisive. It's his nature.
But you just called for the man to be executed, essentially.
No. I just hope that somebody else who makes an attempt. Obama had attempts on his life all the time. We just didn't hear about it.
You're hoping. Your word is, I hope somebody does that.
Yeah, I hope somebody does that.
Why would you want that?
Because he brings the hate out of me. How's that?
Well, you're being honest. All right, I'll leave it at that. Wow. So no chance for unity in America, no chance for a good economy and more things favorable. I
can't be united with people that and I kind of said out loud, I said that's kind of strange. There's no Trump signs or Harris signs, and then she went with her hand in the air like a power sign. It's like Trump's going to win, and I thought to myself, under my breath, in your dreams, because there was a part of me that really I was worried.
Right.
But a part of me that I really thought when I got up this morning, I had this feeling that she won. And when I turned that fucking TV on and seen that, I thought, oh my God.
Now, I gotta move on. But now you went to bed. You said at 10 o'clock last night.
No. I went to bed. Yeah, I didn't, but I had the TV off. I was watching
Okay.
Netflix. I stayed away
All
from
right. Okay. Because I was
social
about to say,
media.
if you went to bed at 10 o'clock and had been watching this, you would have never woke up thinking she won. You would have went to bed at 10 o'clock saying, "Man, I really hope that shit turned around." She was
No, I
never
didn't
in the
have
lead. She was never in the lead.
the only contact I had, a retired buddy from the post office, lives in Florida. He texted me. He said he was in his bedroom and his wife's watching TV. He said, I'm nervous as hell. And I told him what I told you. I said, I've had the social media off and, and everything. I even told him, because we were going back and forth, I said, hey, man, I'm done talking. Good night. And then I went on, watched TV, and went to sleep whenever I went. But I got about 8 o'clock to let the dogs out this morning, but I didn't have no TV on. Laid back down, watched a little YouTube podcast from comedians. But anyways, so when I finally got out of bed at 10:30 this morning, then I said, all right, turn the TV on. And then there it was, Trump projected winner. And I thought, God. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I tell you.
Well, that is our 47th president. I got to move it on. I appreciate you coming through, Carlos. Try not to say that out loud, that you hope somebody take the man or try to take the man's life. That's pretty rough. But my door's always open to you, Carlos.
But he's said worse. Has he not? Can a Mexican veteran, 68 years old, say that?
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to deny the fact that Trump said some pretty harsh stuff, but I don't know if calling for the same thing back at him really moves the agenda forward. I mean, I'm not going to deny it. Trump has said a lot of awful things about people.
If it happens, I'll be laughing my ass off. How's that?
I gotta go, Carlos.
All right, brother.
All right. Wow. That's true sentiment. That's an American voter, veteran. He's Hispanic. By the way, tap the screen, get the likes up to about 30,000. You know how the program works. For folks on YouTube that are asking, how do you call in? Unfortunately, the only way I can make this work is you have to call in through TikTok. So you're hearing the audio from the program on TikTok. I am reading your comments on YouTube though, but if you want to actually be a caller, you have to go to the Handsome Liberal on TikTok. We are also vertical and horizontal on YouTube. For my horizontal audience, feel free to smash that like button on YouTube. For you guys that are on the horizontal feed, I need to get the likes up because I'm trying that for the first time. I've been trying it on Instagram, haven't had a lot of success, so I'm trying it on all three platforms this way. Leo Lyon says, thank you, Carlos. So he's favorable to what my last guest was saying. Going back to the box, what does it say? Black Rain says he will take credit for the next 2 years of good economy. Then he will tank it with tariffs. So in other words, the suggestion is that Trump has inherited what you're saying is a good Biden economy right now. The economy has improved under Biden. Is it good? You ask various Americans, they'll give you a difference of opinion. But you're saying he inherited a decent economy from Biden and he's going to fuck it up with the tariffs. This is what a lot of liberals think, that, the economy is always good under Democrats, and then the Republican comes along and tears it up until another Democrat comes along and corrects it. We'll see. Going back to the box, appreciate you folks that are tapping the screen. Get us around 30,000 on the likes. Tap the screen, get the likes up to about 30,000. Continuing on with the program, I do want to, my subscribers always get first digs. I will bring up Black Wing Zero for life. My time, I'm gonna keep saying the wrong time because I'm used to being on later, but Black Wing.
What's going on? What's going on?
Well, that's what I would ask you that.
Let this country burn. Let this country burn. There was no peace under Trump during his 2016. There were none.
Why?
Because guess what? Y'all say they always say there was no orange under Trump, but guess what? They never talked about Charlottesville. They never talked about the mass unaliving. They never talked about basically the damn racial war that happened in this country. But every time we bring this up, we're the victims.
Why would you want that, though? Why would you want the country to burn?
Oh, no, it's been burning. It's been burning. They blame Black Lives Matter for everything. I don't go like this. Instead of basing finding a solution to police brutality, they want to blame the basic people that's complaining about it. Tell me I'm wrong.
No.
And let me say this. And let me say this. And I'm gonna ask this to every Trump supporter in this live. I'm an inner city school teacher. I teach in Oakland Unified School District. I am a teacher.
Hold on, hang on. I would not give those credentials out. You're actually saying let America burn, and you're giving these credentials out.
Liberal. We got rid of here's the thing. With Trump, we got rid of the Department of Education. Guess what? What came with dismantling of the Department of Education? Brown versus the Board of Education, right?
Yeah.
So that means segregation will be in this country, right? Because that was the first thing that gets segregated was education. The first thing that they want to leave it to the states, fine, leave it to the states. We already warned you.
Yeah.
Jim Crow will be inevitable.
I get. Wait, hold on. I get your. Hold on. Hang on.
I really want to no. Answer my question. Would you, if you had school choice, would you send your child to an inner city school?
No.
For anybody in the chat, if you had a choice to basically because y'all bring up Chicago a lot, would you send your child to an old block school? Now, mind you, there are a lot of inner cities than there are suburbs. Let's keep it real. Do the math. There's more inner cities than there are suburbs, right?
Yeah.
So, here's the problem I'm having. I teach ISS students that's in school suspension. I talked to a parent. This is what I can't understand. I talked to a parent that said this, right? Oh, let's teach them a trade. Yeah, let's make them a field hand. Oh, yeah, that worked out just fine. That worked out just fine for black people because we've been hearing that for years.
And I see in the comments, L Captain 813 says segregation would not be a bad thing. Is that what we're headed for, in your opinion, Blackwing?
Exactly. They just your boys in the chat just proved my point. Not only that, it's just proving the fact that a convicted felon can be a president as long as he's rich and white.
What does it say about America that we elected him?
So I'm literally exactly. That's what I'm saying. Let this country burn. Y'all forget about Charlottesville. Y'all forget about the mass unaliving that happened under his watch. Y'all forget about C-19. Y'all forget about basically everything that y'all forget about every racial group that happened under his watch.
But you saying y'all? You gotta take in consideration he did. Wait, hold on, hang on. We gotta have a conversation. You gotta take in consideration while you're talking about y'all. More blacks, more Hispanics, more minorities. Why?
And that's the problem. Most black dudes most black dudes that basically voted for Trump didn't want to pay child support. That's a social service. More Latinos. Let's keep it real.
He didn't even promise that. He didn't promise nothing like that.
Let's keep it real. Okay, here's the thing though. Why would I vote for a president that want to give full money to police officers that don't do their job correctly? That means I'm not calling the police ever in life. Because guess what? We just had a dude get unalived in Florida for calling the police for a dude that's trespassing on his lawn.
So let me ask you this. How do you respond to African Americans or minorities or Hispanics that say, look...
Fuck them. Before you even get... Fuck them. If you're wearing that hat... Here's the thing though. Let me say this. Liberal, I talked about that hat right behind you, right?
Yes.
When's the again part? In the last 4 years, when's the again part?
Again could mean when we say make America great again, it could. Hold on, you're not letting. You're asking me questions and not allowing me to answer them. When he say make America great again, he could be talking about getting rid of the failing Biden economy and going back to what we were doing between 2016 and 2020.
Inflation. Dude, here's the thing. Let me say this real talk. We're paying Trump's taxes. We're literally in Trump's tax bracket. We're literally basically under Biden's basic administration. Biden's administration, when it came down to basic inflation, inflation's at a 2.4. We're the lowest in the world. So I'm literally going this. When 400,000 jobs came back to this country because Biden signed a Paris Agreement, Trump is going to renege on that. Everything with Biden's name on it, he's going to renege on. And let me say this for real talk. For anybody saying that HBCU funny, Biden gave him a $7.1 billion. Trump gave him $54 million. That's a proven fact. If you don't believe me, ask the Department of Education that you want to defund. Okay.
Do you believe you have voter supremacy where you do realize a lot of black people disagree with you?
Trump in my state failed. Every prop that basically in my state in California failed. It was basically for gay marriage, raising the minimum wage, lowering the damn renters cap, and basically putting a renters cap on them. All of them failed. Every single last one of them will say no. Every single last one of them. Every one of my district, everybody's a Republican now. My damn mayor, Xing Wu, is still in office, and she was recalled.
So you want divisiveness?
I want this country to burn. You know what I'm about to do? I'm about to just watch. Because let me say this, liberal. Let me say this, liberal. Am I speaking divisive when basically a lot of people were saying blood and soil with damn tiki torches in their hands for a statue that didn't mean shit for them?
I can't believe you gave you.
Or should I bring up the fact that basically, or should I bring up the fact that police brutality? We've been saying it since 1989, and we have had many riots between the time, and they still haven't learned their lesson.
In my comment section,
what's the point of a body cam if cops got full immunity from doing anything they want to do?
In my comment section, Tara is saying you are filled with hate. How do you respond to folks who hear what you're saying as a teacher yourself, calling for the burning of America? How do you respond to that? People think you're hateful.
Oh, they burned into it. Didn't they burn into it Jan 6? So how am I supporting hating? Y'all was the one that basically invaded the Capitol building. Y'all the ones that basically said, hang my Pence, hang Nancy Pelosi. Y'all the ones that basically went up to the Capitol and endangered every single person in the House and that Senate.
Yeah. Last question before I move it on. You've been pretty passionate here. I can't pronounce the name. Chivo says, go to another country if you say this country should burn. Go to your great-grandmother's hometown.
I'm gonna sit down here. I'm gonna sit down here and watch this country burn.
Are you going to light any matches? Will you be lighting any matches?
I'm gonna get a lawn chair. Sit on right in front of my apartment and watch everything burn in flames.
Then that means it's in your neighborhood. That means it's in your neighborhood if you're doing it. I gotta move on.
No, I'm not just talking
real
about
quick.
My neighborhood. I'm talking about everybody else. I'm going like this. Y'all think this country was together when Trump was president? Prove me wrong.
Wow.
Prove me wrong. Y'all keep on saying we're the victims when black people are saying there is a problem with racism, segregation, police brutality, apartheid, all that stuff. We keep on saying these problems since the 60s, but y'all still saying the fact that we're the victims. It takes a victimizer to become a victim. Am I wrong or am I right?
So it's safe to say you're not really happy with what happened last night.
Here's the thing. Let me leave it at this. You can leave it at this. A convicted felon won the presidency. So let me tell you this right now. Since that happened, take felonies off of every job application in America. Take felonies off of every apartment in America. Take felony off of everything. Felonies doesn't exist since one rich white dude became president and he's a felon. We might as well elect the Menendez brothers.
I gotta go.
He want to make Herschel Walker Department of Defense. I would hope you know that he gave him the codes.
Oh my God.
Werewolves and vampires have an ass.
Blackwing, passion indeed. Appreciate you coming through. Hey folks, as I say all the time on the program, we don't block, ban, or censor anyone. I see a lot of folks, let them go. Now obviously we don't want TikTok, because I don't block, ban, or censor anyone, but sometimes the TikTok gods can do their own thing. So, but I do believe in letting folks speak. We go left of Bernie Sanders, Trump having dinner with Q. That's been our motto from day one. So we do believe in free speech. You're not going to hear opinions you always agree with on the program. We let everyone speak. You can be critical of anyone in the comment section, up to and including the host. That's how we run it. So if you favor that type of dialogue politically, where all sides get to speak, I'd invite you to follow the program on TikTok and subscription on YouTube, if you will. Nevertheless, that was passionate lingo. I see in the comments, Philip Allen McCracken, thank you for the super chat, says, let go of the anger, brother. Let love and peace in. That's what we're talking about today. Second, I always run through the monologue and give you a couple questions, but that second question I'm still asking is, do you believe a second term for Trump will be less divisive, more divisive, or will it be more the same? Now, I'm also asking the question of, what does a Trump victory say about America? Maybe that Trump was a great president. Maybe that Kamala Harris is a bad candidate. Maybe that there are some liberal policies people just do not want for the direction of this country. And last but not least, what went wrong for Kamala and the Democrats? That was a resounding defeat. It wasn't close. She was not competitive. She got her ass kicked, for lack of a better term. It was never competitive. I watched that whole thing. I was up till 3 a.m. watching ABC and CNN refuse to admit the obvious. And I stated while I was on live that if this was Kamala Harris this far in the lead, they would have been calling her the president-elect 2 hours ago. There are networks that are still kind of hesitant to call Trump the president. He won. Whether you like it or not, I have my reservations, but he won. Nevertheless, let me go back to the box. What went wrong? What went wrong was that she did in office for the last term, says Christina's Dream Creations. You said what went wrong was what she did in office for the last term. She's vice president. I mean, I still don't get that why she got accused of not doing so. Vice presidents don't do all of that. Now, J.D. Vance is VP. I don't know how much he's going to accomplish. Now, he might accomplish more than Kamala Harris because of just the old mechanics behind it. But Mike Pence didn't accomplish a lot as vice president. Let me go back to the box. She wasn't a likable character, says Lee Davis. I believe there's validity to that. I actually believe that. Even in the black community, her having a white husband may have had something to do with it. There's a lot of misogyny in the black community. Her being a woman. I've had viewers come on and tell me a real man would never vote for a woman as president. The misogyny was real. It ain't just, her. Some of it has to do with her gender. Maybe there was something to do with her race, but absolutely something to do with the Democratic Party and the policies of Democrats. Not to mention she performed poorly in a host of interviews. Will G, thank you for the super chat. Will G says Trump was banking on amnesia. If Trump had that Men in Black memory, remember the whole Men in Black, the movie with Will Smith and I can't think, Tommy Lee Jones, they hold up the stick and it makes your memory go away. Will G says Trump was banking on American amnesia. If Trump had the Men in Black memory loss flash device, he would have used it when COVID-19 happened. True, because before COVID-19, Trump actually was performing rather well. The COVID-19 is what kind of tanked the economy. I mean, I said it before in the program, in my opinion. Trump deserved a second term in 2020. It was just COVID-19, and he was very divisive. He was very divisive, which is why I'm asking, do you think he'll be divisive now? Going back to the box, my last caller really let it fly. Tara, Chote, how am I pronouncing that? Tara?
Choke like boat.
Okay, choke like boat. So, what does Trump's victory say about America, in your opinion?
I voted Trump, and I think the economy will improve because of it. He's a businessman, and he has been bankrupt before, and he's come back from it.
Been bankrupt a lot. He's been bankrupt a lot.
Yeah. He was handed a business. He's been bankrupt, and I think nobody's perfect. His golf enterprises was his comeback. His hotels obviously was not a good idea. And casinos was not a good idea. So that's where he is not doing good. But his golf enterprises is where he did fine in. And
so for you, the main issue was indeed the economy.
Yes, the main issue was the economy, and strengthening our military is very important, obviously, especially with what we got going on in our war going on. That is very important, and I do not think that Harris can stand toe-to-toe to Putin.
So, but Trump is not talking about standing toe-to-toe. He's talking about focusing on America first, nationalism, being more of an isolated country. He's pretty much saying, I'm going to let Putin do whatever the hell he wants. I'm getting out of this stuff.
Well, I'm saying if worse comes to worse.
Well, what do you mean? If Putin invades America or something?
Well, the thing is, with them trying to make a one world currency, they're trying to get together, and that's not going to bode well for America.
Where have you heard there's an effort to make a one world currency? So she's talking about $1 or 1 unit of currency for everybody in the world. Okay, I don't know if she got a phone call or something. We'll give her a second. I've never heard of that. Okay.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I forget what the name is, but they're getting Russia is getting with China and the other Asian countries. They're coming together and they're making a what's the name? I forget what the name is, but they're trying to make a digital currency and put America on BRICS. That it's in the name, BRICS. It's called BRICS, and put America off the map. Yeah.
Well, I can understand trying to compete with the American dollar and being sick of America being on top of everything, but how is Trump going to stop that?
That's a good question. And I think Trump is probably a better choice than Harris to be able to stop that.
But you don't know how he would be able to accomplish it.
I would not, but Trump would. Personally, okay. I would not, but I believe Trump probably is in the makings of a plan on doing that.
So I don't. But how does that coincide with Trump promising to get out of overseas conflicts and focus on America at home? A lot of things you're saying require him to do just the opposite. What the stuff you're saying requires Trump to get involved with a lot of stuff, because if he focuses on America and only America first and isolationism, then you're kind of saying I'm gonna lead the rest of the world to its own devices. What you're saying is he's not going to do that.
Well, at first he's probably going to focus on doing America in the first year to 2 years.
You only get 4.
He needs to focus on America. And, well, no, actually, probably he needs to start working on cooling down the wars and then focus on America.
How does he cool down? That's what I'm saying. How does he cool down the wars when he's promising to get out of overseas conflicts? What is he going to be able to do if let's say he gets the war in Ukraine and Russia to end? How does you do that? You don't just get up and say, you guys need to stop fighting. They don't both lost tens of thousands of soldiers. Why the hell would they listen to Trump?
Trump sent a picture of the guy's house over in, what was it?
In the Middle East. I'm aware of that.
In the Middle East, yeah.
But that means
that's how you got him to stop.
So you're saying he's going to threaten Putin and Zelensky into ending the war by sending them a picture of their house?
No, probably through money. Say he's going to stop funding or something like that.
He's already said that. But if he stops, because we're only
might be through oil.
We're only funding one side of the Russia-Ukraine war, and that's the Ukrainians. If he stops funding the Ukrainians, you think that's going to end the war?
No, that's not going to end the war.
So what is he going to do to end that war that he's promising he could do?
It could make some kind of deal.
So he's not getting out of overseas conflicts, he's getting in them. For him to make a deal to get them to end that war, it's going to require America to give something, such as the Ukrainian... Huh?
He could propose a peace treaty.
Yeah, but why would they agree to be at peace with each other? Right now, Ukraine's, their entire infrastructure is destroyed. They need housing, they need their entire country rebuilt. We're talking about we're not going to give them any money at all. So why would the Ukrainians listen to us?
That I do not know. That I do not know because I'm not president and Trump is.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
You're not asking the right person.
Okay. But you do. So in other words, you don't know, but what you're saying is essentially you have blind faith that he will do right.
I have blind faith that Trump is a better choice than Harris to do a better job. Okay, fair enough, and that's a fair point to make. I think a lot of folks are like you, but so you have faith that he's better than Kamala Harris, but you're not really sure what the hell he's going to do. You just think whatever he does, it might be better than Harris. Yes, he did a better job at keeping more peace and stopping the what was going on during his term, and he kept more peace during his term. That's what I saw. So I think he can do a better job in negotiating.
Okay.
at this point, and the economics were further down. The gas prices, and I believe in doing our own oil and gas and all that. That is a very good thing. And Harris has also, it's been proven that she says one thing and changes her mind on another thing.
Well, in regards to Harris being a flip-flopper, saying one thing and then doing the other, in my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong, the only way Trump can do what you're suggesting overseas by ending wars and things like that is for him to have said one thing and do another. He has said, I'm going to get us out of overseas conflicts. I'm going to stop giving money and our resources and our military equipment to other countries. But somehow the war is going to end. The only way he's going to end that war is to do the opposite of what he's promised. If that war ends in 24 hours like Trump has promised, the first question everybody would be asking is, what did you give them? They're not going to just stop fighting on their own. You had to have done something for them. So for him to say, I'm going to get us out of these conflicts, the only way he can do what he's promising is to get us into the conflict, whether by finances, helping somebody out financially, or doing what you suggested, sending somebody a picture of their home and threatening to bomb them. But he's involved in it.
Well, then that means he has some kind of plan that he has told us that he has stopped it, and he's got some kind of plan backed up. If he says that he's doing it this way, then he's probably going to do it that way. He has said that he's going to do it this way, and he's always done it that way, right?
Perhaps. I'm not for sure of that. I'm not for sure.
It's either deviated just a small amount because he's been pushed that way by the Democrats. Is that right?
Democrats
He's been pushed that way to do it a different way by the Democrat Senate Party, or he's going to do it that way because he said that's how he's going to do it. Now that the Senate is mainly Republican, he's able to do it the way he needs to do it. He said he's going to do it this way. He's going to do it that. That means he's got plans set in motion. So if he's going to do it that way, he's going to do it that way.
All right, fair enough. Congratulations on your win. I got to move it on, Tara. Choke, thanks for coming through.
All right, thank you.
You too. All right, moving on to the program. Will G, NATO is gone. Ukraine is gone. Palestine, West Bank, gone. Migration will be non-existent because Trump will do something to make migrants not come at all with his Saw games. And in internment camps. Wow. So you're saying Saw like the horror movie Saw? In internment camps, the American dream will die. Wow. That's in regards to Trump, I don't know if the American dream will die, but I do believe the dream of coming to America and enjoying that dream will die for, I mean, at the end of the day, he's promising to be really strict on immigration. So for folks wanting to migrate here and pursue the American dream, it will die for them. I do believe that. But for us that are already born and raised in the country, I don't know about that. But yeah, for people that are overseas, it's over with for a lot of people. Won't see me voting anymore. It says, make me king. What do you mean? You think Trump's going to take away your right to vote? Tap the screen. Get your boy up to 40,000 on the likes. Show your boy some love. Appreciate you folks that are tuning in. Certainly smash that like button on YouTube, but on TikTok, tap the screen, get the likes up. Same on my horizontal feed. I don't know, the sun is coming in here, so the Black Sea never freezes over. I don't know what you mean by that, Freddie, on YouTube. I do want to respond to some of my horizontal YouTubers because I'm trying horizontal for the first time. Yes, they have ports in Crimea, but they freeze in winter. I guess you guys are, I mean, because you're talking amongst each other. But I do wonder, how can Trump end that Russia-Ukraine war other than to say we're no longer going to help the Ukrainians and pretty much let the Russians have their way with Ukraine? Other than that, the only way to end it is you're going to have to give some things. He could financially do a little bit for Russia and also help, because at the end of the day, Ukraine needs their country rebuilt. They've been bombed out. They don't look as bad as Gaza all over, but in some places they do. I mean, all of that shit needs to be rebuilt. The Palestinians have the same experience. They're going to need a whole nother country built. Trump promising not to get involved in any of that stuff. You know that Netanyahu ain't going to rebuild the country he bombed. So the Israelis are not going to rebuild the damage they've did in Palestine. And folks will say, after what happened to them on October 7th, why would anybody expect them to rebuild the Palestinian nation? I don't think, that's where I think Kamala Harris or the Biden administration would have been more favorable to continuing to send money overseas to help the Palestinians have a place to live. I don't think you're going to get that out of Trump, and I think a lot of Trump supporters are totally fine with that. They prefer that. Let me go back to the box. Dencal, good afternoon. Welcome to the program. One of my subscribers, as always. Dencal, how are you feeling this morning, Dencal? I know you were riding with Kamala. How you feeling this morning?
I'm kind of conflicted. Disappointed, obviously. You know, I'm here to go ahead and eat all the crow I need to. Everybody listening that's listened to me in the past and supported me or whatever, like we failed. We failed
miserably.
Big time.
Miserably.
Big time.
Why did she lose so bad? I'll give you the third question. What went wrong for Kamala and the Democrats? Why the hell did she lose by so much?
Look, there's different. Look, it was many different reasons. There was not one particular reason. I think a lot of people were just disenfranchised with the inflation, and because they were in office, they attributed to their problems financially to one party. Regardless if we can look at all of the facts, we can look at the numbers, we can look at everything to say that we are the achieving country of all of the first world nations in just about every metric. But when they go to the grocery store and their food costs more, they attribute that to one person.
So you pretty much are echoing the words of James Carville. It's the economy, stupid. That's what he boiled down to, in your opinion. It was the economy.
Well, no. Like I said, there's many different things. There was a disenfranchisement of the black men in these urban areas. They have been so disenfranchised for so long, and I hate to say it, and I hate to echo what Barack Obama said, was a lot of them. They feel emasculated to be voting for a black woman.
Wow.
I've heard them 1,000 times. They've said it out loud. Oh man, she ain't gonna be able to look. This has been the first time that the young black generation of men have been able to put their finger on the scales, and they feel empowered by it. Even if it goes against all of their best interests, they feel empowered to get to say, I showed you. Even if they got to take all of the stuff that's going to come with trying to do immunity from police and getting rid of these programs and trying to scrap Obamacare, and it's going to affect their family, and they don't care right now. They feel empowered now because they got to win.
So you see it as an African-American male, maybe even a Hispanic male, voting for Trump as voting against their own best interests?
Yes, just think about the Hispanic part, the part about Puerto Rico, the part that the only party that was even willing to consider making them an actual state instead of them being a territory was the Democrats. The Republicans fought tooth and nail. They treated it like garbage when that hurricane came through. They didn't give them the money they were supposed to. He went there and threw toilet paper at him, and then at the end of his campaign, he pretty much, they can say he was just a comedian, but that was part of his campaign. They called Puerto Rico a pile of trash.
Yeah, but people are going to say that was a comedian. It wasn't Trump.
Yeah, we know that. But the same way they can attach Megan Thee Stallion to Kamala Harris and say, he had her up there shaking her tail. Why did she? The same way they can attach any famous person that went for Kamala, I'm going to attach somebody that was speaking at his
That's a really good comeback. That is correct. When Lizzo and when Megan Thee Stallion and some of them got up there twerking, they did attach that to the Democratic Party. So you're right. The Democrats could say, if that comedian doesn't represent the views of Trump, then this people twerking don't represent the views of the Democratic Party. That's a good comeback because they did do that.
Right, exactly. And I don't know, I can't say we all know, but most of us know that Trump, everything that he does has to be highly orchestrated because he's so stuck on optics. There's no way somebody in his campaign hired this guy, allowed him to get on stage and say what he said, and Trump didn't know. That's just not in his realm. He doesn't get down like that. He got to know because he wants everything to be just like he always says, central casting. He wants everybody to look the part. He doesn't even care if you know what you're talking about. If you look good saying it, he's okay. So when he allowed that man to get up there on stage, and we also know that Trump is the first person to say, if you do something wrong, he will fire you. Who in his campaign got fired after that comic got hired?
No one, and you may hear from him again. Now that he's won, shit, you may hear from him again. So I guess before I move on, I would ask you, do you think Trump's second term will be more or less divisive than the first, or maybe more of the same?
It's got to be. It's going to have to be more because he's promised so much more. People keep saying, "Well, we already had 4 years of him, and it wasn't that bad." It was pretty doggone bad. But now that he's promised all of this stuff about, look, I'm getting rid of taxes on tips. I'm getting rid of taxes on Social Security. He even told people he's trying to get rid of the income tax.
But why would getting rid of taxes on tips cause division?
No, what I'm saying is these things are not so easily done. But those people who voted for him are banking that he's going to do it. Just the same way the people that's banking on this big deportation thing. He's got to make good on those things.
Also, you saying once he starts deporting people, that's going to cause a lot of division.
Yeah, that's one thing. I'm just saying he said he's going to end 2 wars and like on the first day. Like now he got to put up now. He done said all of this stuff.
I don't know.
He said he wasn't going to be able to do it.
I got to disagree with you for this point. You said now that he's made all these promises, he got to actually put up. He promised to drain the swamp. He promised to repeal and replace Obamacare and build a wall on the last go-round. He didn't deliver on any of that, and they still think he was the best president in U.S. history. So I don't think he has to deliver. I think MAGA's going to roll with Trump, whether his promises made in reality or him simply saying promises made, promises kept.
Okay, well then let's watch him. Let's watch, and we'll both sit back and reap the benefits if he actually goes in there and somehow he magically makes prices start going down for everybody. Because the thing is inflation. If he can't come in and immediately show people a difference, they're gonna become disenchanted. I'm just saying.
Well, I think particularly with MAGA, if the economy doesn't start improving in another year or so, they'll just simply say, Biden and the Democrats did something, and Trump is still working his ass off behind the scenes to fix it. It'll continue to be blamed on the Democrats. I don't think that's pretty hard to do.
Right, but the problem with that is the economy itself structurally is already doing well.
Yeah, you're talking to, but people don't know. People they're gonna buy what he says. They're gonna buy what he says.
Well, then what can he do to make people feel like their life is like it's better? Because we're saying that yes, interest rates are high, and then because that's not his job, that's the Fed's job, and then food prices are high. What happens in 6 months when I come back on this thing and I say, look, hey, I'm just saying.
You're asking what can Trump do to make people think that their lives is better. In my humble opinion, if you're MAGA, Trump can look you in the eye and say, your life is hereby better. And I'm saying, yeah, it is. So I don't think he has to do anything. I think just tell him right now, this is the best economy we've ever had, and that'll be enough.
And sadly, that is the truth.
So, all right then, Cal. It's a hell of a new day. At the end of the day, are you going to honor this man as your commander-in-chief?
Hey, it's going to be what it is. I'm not, look, I went out there, I did my civil duty, I did my part, I got my family out. I tried to rally my friends as best I could. I did the best thing. If he the president, he the president. But like I told you a long time ago, which you may not remember because I know you talk to so many people, but I'm going to be all right. I done already talked to my financial specialist, and we're going to do some modifications to my portfolio and try to protect me from different things in the market that's about to happen. But I'm going to be all right.
All right, and catch
my family, we going to be good.
Fair enough. And catch the bus, get out of car so that you don't get pulled over by cops. It's your boy Tim. Thank you for coming through, Dencal.
I'm retired, so I ain't got to drive to work, man.
All right. Much love.
I'll be at the house.
All right. Stay safe out there. Appreciate it. All right, moving on with the program. That's my boy Dencal. Will G, what will the United States gain if there is a peace treaty? Any treaties done by the United States never worked out well. If both sides honor the peace treaty, many would believe that when Iran made a peace treaty with the Obama administration about not getting a nuclear weapon, they were honoring it. Now, Trump came along and trashed that peace treaty with Iran and put nothing in its place other than, you're going to do what I say whether you want to or not. We're not going to give you shit to honor this deal. You just going to honor it because we told you to. That's kind of what Trump replaced the Obama deal with. Remember, Obama was releasing their funds. We had a whole lot of Iranian money that was held up in sanctions. And then all of a sudden, Obama got in there and made a deal with Iran not to develop a nuclear weapon. What Iran received as a trade-off for that is, we'll release all of the money we've had frozen in different banks around the world. We'll give you back your money. Now, the critics of Obama were saying, well, he's sending Iranians piles of cash. No, he was sending them their own damn money back. But Trump came along and said, we're getting out of this deal. It's a bad deal, and we're not going to give you shit. You're just going to do what we ask, or we're going to blow you up. I mean, that's kind of the way he left it. So I don't know how we're going to continue from that, because that's what's coming up. Trump is not going to make any deals with Iran. In fact, I read an article this morning that stated, I don't know what the Iranian currency is called, but it just dropped substantially once the world found out that Trump is coming back, because everybody expects Trump is going to do whatever he can to make life in that country worse. I mean, Trump is no friend, Trump is no ally to Iran, and he's not really open to any type of deals with Iran. It's just, you do what America says, or that's your ass. So I'm pretty sure that what I read is probably true. The Iranian dollar has fell substantially. Putin will definitely be a friend of the United States now. I would not be surprised if we see Putin at Camp David, says Will G. I think there's 100%, I won't say 100%, but I think there's a high likelihood of that happening. Trump is very favorable to Vladimir Putin. I think he had Kim Jong-un in the White House. I believe he had invited Putin to come to the White House, and Putin rejected it. So yeah, that is there's a high probability of that. The issue is, while Trump is favorable to Putin, our allies are not. So I don't know how that's going to work if Trump starts promoting the lifting of sanctions with Putin, because Elon Musk is also friendly to Putin. Both of those men, because Trump is still a citizen of America, right? He's not he's a president-elect now, but as a citizen, both Trump and Elon Musk have been in contact with Russia, with Putin. They've been denying it. I don't totally buy it, but yeah, so I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how our allies in the region, who are all frightened of Russia, will feel about Trump saying, no, let's be friends with the dude. Because many folks believe that Russia wants to reestablish the Soviet Union. My opinion, my analysis, why wouldn't they? Why would you not want to establish or reestablish the point when you were the most powerful in Russian history, when you had, control of most of Eastern Europe? My guess is a dictator like Putin probably does want to reestablish the Soviet Union. This is why I was continuing to suggest that there's no way Putin would have preferred Kamala Harris over Trump. Trump's going to get out of overseas conflicts. That gives Putin more room to do what he wants. But I had a hell of a lot of MAGA talking about, well, no, Putin wants Kamala Harris to win. He doesn't want Trump to win. That's crazy. Why would you not want a guy that's friends of yours to be the leader of America? Let me go back to the box. Trump won't let that happen. It would challenge American supremacy. Mountain Loving Mama says Trump would not let that stuff happen. It'll challenge American supremacy, which leads to the question I asked my other caller. Is he getting out of overseas conflicts or is he remaining in them? You can't do both. He's talking about, I'm going to focus on America. Yes, I'm a nationalist. America first. We're going to stop getting involved in overseas conflicts. We're going to stop sending money overseas. But MAGA and Trump supporters keep saying he's going to have all of these controls about things that are going on. Either you're getting out of it or you're getting deeper into it. You can't do both. Something is not making sense there because you just said he won't let it happen. It would challenge American supremacy. Then he has to be involved in it. He has to be policing people, making threats, controlling things behind the scenes. He is involved in it. And the only way to do all of that is either by threatening to kill mass amounts of people through war or handing people piles of cash to shut them up. He's involved. Going to the box, thank you folks that are tapping the screen. We should be about 50,000 by now. We can make that happen if you guys show the program some love. Tap the screen, get the likes on up. Continuing on, I want to go to another one of my subscribers there. Whatever topics, that's a hell of a name. Good morning. I'm trying to get my day of reference correct. Whatever topics, and I make sure I want to answer a super chat there. The box is problematic there. We'll give it a chance to reset. Who I'm trying to bring up right now, the guy I'm trying to bring up apparently is not coming up. The box is playing games like that. It's amazing what President Trump went through, says Bobby Covina. He did go through a lot, but I know MAGA sees Trump as an innocent guy with a halo on and people were just bashing and attacking him. My analysis on it is Trump was involved in a fight. I mean, Trump takes on a lot. The whole Liz Cheney being a warmonger thing, for instance. She's on a campaign for Kamala Harris. She's saying negative things about Trump. Liz Cheney was a citizen at that point. He decided, well, I'm going to attack her back. I'm going to bring up that she was a warmonger. I mean, he just decided because she's saying things about me negative, I'm going to fight back and attack her. It is what it is. When you say he's went through a lot of it is because he likes to fight. If you like to get in fights, you might have cauliflower ear. You may have scratches and scars on you. He likes to fight. MAGA just doesn't like to see him get hit. He gets in a lot of fights that he don't need to get involved in. I will say that the whole media trying to get to me, you'd have to shoot through the media, and I'm okay with that. You don't have to say that. He chose to say that. He chose to use that as comedy or whatever. I mean, there are media personnel that didn't like it. It comes with the territory. If you say stuff, people are going to go after you for it. Definitely not a halo, but one look at these bogus charges and you know there was lawfare. I can't call all the charges against Trump bogus because the cases never came to fruition. When Trump was charged and indicted, his supporters just said it's all bullshit. It's a witch hunt. Maybe you're correct, but my opinion on it is this. I need to hear what the prosecutor actually has to say before I say it's a witch hunt. I mean, it's not uncommon for anybody that gets charged of a crime to say, I'm not guilty, I'm innocent. Hell, O.J. Simpson, first thing he said is, I didn't do it. R. Kelly, I didn't do it. P. Diddy, Epstein, they all pled not guilty. I need to hear what they actually are accusing you of in court before I just jump on the bandwagon if you didn't do it. Trump supporters, he gets charged with something. I don't believe the people charging him, he didn't do it. Maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, but I need to hear what happens. Now, we know in Trump's case, Jack Smith is getting fired, Merrick Garland is getting fired, and the folks who replaced them will likely announce that we've decided to drop all charges. I don't know what they were ever accusing him of. So I can't say he's innocent. I don't know what the case was. Going back to the box, I voted for Trump and I do not live paycheck to paycheck. That is a very rude thing to say. You're talking to someone else because I certainly did not. There's a lot of reasons to vote for Trump that have nothing to do with the economy. And there were a lot of reasons to vote for Kamala Harris as well. I'd have to hear your politics. Stick the Ruler, one of my subscribers as well. Good afternoon. I'm gonna get this wrong all damn day. Good morning, Stick.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Tim?
I'm in the trenches, man. How you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling awakened. Now I'm woke.
That don't say shit. That don't say shit. What does that mean?
I finally see what this country is.
Mm.
I finally found out what this country is really about.
So, like,
she didn't lose because of her. She didn't lose because of her policies. She didn't lose because of her laugh. Hell, Tim, she didn't even lose because of her skin.
Why did she lose?
Because she was a woman. Because she was a woman.
You think that's the only reason?
Period.
Okay, people.
All across the board, it's the men. All across the board, it's the men.
So a big dose of misogyny.
So that lets you know. Oh yeah, especially with the black men. The black men, for those, they got the alpha beta male right now. So for all those betas who's tired of losing, this their way to get their little get back to their girlfriend that dumped them. And he had no place to stay.
Oh my God! So let me play devil's advocate. Let me put on the MAGA hat and play devil's advocate. How do you respond to somebody who might say, under Trump, I actually could see numbers in my bank account. I could afford groceries. I could actually afford to buy some shit. And under her and Biden, I could not. Therefore, I'm not voting for her. I'm going to vote for the guy who allowed me to feed my family. How do you respond to that?
What I would respond to that to say is, even if Hillary would have won, you would have been saying the same thing about Hillary.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
Second question.
They both would have inherited a Barack economy. So yeah, it looked real good. You're right.
Next question. Under Trump, I was able to go about my daily business. I didn't see all these immigrants laying all around the place, getting free shit that I would never get. And hearing that there are even more constantly being let in the border, I believe the border should be secure. We shouldn't just let any unknown person come in the country. Some of them have killed people, and it wasn't happening under Trump. So therefore, I'm getting rid of Kamala Harris and Biden and putting Trump back in. How would you respond to that?
What I would say is, to everybody that feels like the border was a problem and you're on the MAGA side, you should have just had him to say, hey, yeah, I think that's a good idea, sign this bill in. And then he could have took the credit for telling y'all to sign the bill in. But y'all didn't do that. What you did was gave him a platform to run on, which was the border was bad. All the Republicans that swore to the United States that they would do their duty didn't do it, didn't protect us. So the border bill didn't pass through. That's my comeback.
All right.
And then
go ahead. No, I was going to say also, how do you respond to somebody that might suggest, when I send my child to school, when I send my daughter to school, the thought of her ever having to play sports against a biological male, putting her safety in danger, is unacceptable to me. Therefore, I'm going to vote for a presidential candidate that would never put my daughter in harm's way like that. How do you respond to that?
Well, I would first say, show me where that's happening. I know for a fact that there's probably been like female kickers in football, but normally it's the female going to the male sport. It's never the reverse. Normally it's the female going to the male sport, because before there was a guy playing any type of female sport, there was always that one girl that ended up playing in a certain town that didn't care that she was a girl and let her play with the boys.
Then I would just follow up.
Been crossing over for a minute.
Been crossing over for. I'm not arguing with that, but then I would respond by simply saying this: perhaps there are some folks, black, white, Hispanic, liberals, independents, folks of all walks of life, who might simply say, I voted for Trump because I want to get back to a point in this country where I know what the hell a girl is and what the hell a man is. And under the Kamala Harris, Joe Biden team, the lines are getting so blurred that I don't want to investigate any more of that. How would you respond to that?
What I would say is, be a better parent. Just be a better parent.
How does that work?
Teach them what you want them. Teach them what you want them to know. If you want them to know what a boy is in your eyes, if you want them to know what a girl is in your eyes, you sit down and you teach them. Don't shy away from it. Don't be scared of being a parent. This is the things that we have to do. Because back in my day, you know, when you get about 14, 15, you have the talk. Whether you a girl or a boy. Look, you're going to feel like this. You want to do this. You had the talk. Maybe it's just this generation now I would say this generation, my generation, the ones that are in charge. They don't want to do what the old did.
Hold on, wait, Stick. Hold on. I'm going to interrupt you. I'll let you continue. But in the comments, I do want to respond to LNB91. States, I get that you want to let people speak, but every single live it's 1, maybe 2 MAGA and 15 lefties. You are correct, but that is because I take callers from TikTok, and MAGA don't like TikTok. I'm looking forward to speaking to many MAGA as possible. I can't make folks disagree with getting on the Chinese app. Most of my MAGA viewers are on YouTube, and I can't take callers on YouTube. It's not set up that way. I don't know how to do it on YouTube. I would invite all MAGA to come to TikTok, and I'd take the calls regularly. But I can't make them do that. I regularly bring up MAGA in the box and talk to them, but the reason it's so lopsided, they don't come on the program. They stay on YouTube. Thank you for your comments. Stick, continue.
And yeah, then not only that, y'all conservatives, y'all still stuck on YouTube. That's like World Star or something. Like, I mean, that's not where it's at right now. Where it's at is TikTok. So if you want to be heard, get on TikTok, register, get your followers, how many of that you need, and then just join the live, and then you can be heard. Because YouTube right now is not the streaming app, other than if you just want to talk.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to what I was saying, Tim. So yeah, I woke up disappointed in the men of today. The same men that complained about people coming across the border when they're 20 steps ahead of them.
Mm-hmm.
Those same men. And then again, the black men that want to take it out on their baby moms or they girlfriend that dumped them and didn't want to let Kamala get in, and then they're right in the girls' DMs. Gotcha, bitch. That's what we're dealing with right now. That's all it is.
Misogynistic men.
The whole thing, from the Latino men to the black men to the white men, of course, supposed to be more white folks, period, in America than anything. So yeah, a lot of them jumped on hey, we're going to show these women we're still in charge. And I feel like right now, not maybe my vote, but a lot of votes when Hillary ran was the same thing. Oh, you tried my boy Bill.
Then how do you explain all of the women? I say Trump probably got at least damn near half of the women's vote too. How do you explain that? That ain't misogyny.
Well, my thing is this. If you happy, in whatever relationship that you may have, whether it be Republican, MAGA, conservative, Democrat, whatever, 9 times out of 10, if it ain't broke to you, you ain't gonna fix it. But what we seen was millions of people told you something was broke in this country, even though you guys were saying it as well. But for some reason, y'all picked the broke candidate to fix something that's broke.
That was his, but Stick, that's literally his motto was, I'll fix it. They don't believe he's the broke candidate. They actually believe that Kamala Harris and Biden broke America. And that was literally what Kamala's moniker was, when we fight, we win, and we're not going back. Trump's was, I'll fix it. That literally is what he ran on, is he was going to fix it.
I'm going to say it like this, Tim. If you're sick, are you sick just because you're sick? Are you sick because something either has affected your body or got into your system? Is that the reason?
It depends on it depends on what Dr. Trump diagnoses me with. I gotta move it on, but I think
that's probably what MAGA would say. But what I would say is the symptoms is we had already had him in office. And that was the symptom. He did, when we actually did have a pandemic, he was trash. As like he said, he's garbage. He got rid of a plan. That's on him. So we've seen his leadership. We know who he is. But again, the only reason and I'm not even gonna say racism right now. The men fucked it up for America. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy this bullshit we got coming.
All right, Stick. Appreciate you coming in. By the way, in the comments, I see CMB Corrado says, please 100% send gift to help everyone. God bless. Hey, support the program. I do appreciate those who do occasionally send me something. It helps out the program. I do have 3 different devices making this shit possible. So I'll happily take any donation at this point. Looking in the comments, no men actually grew up and spoke some. Let me go back to the box. Continuing on. Harry Sisson, I think it was. You certainly have been on hold there. I'll bring you up. Send Jesus at this point. Some say that Jesus is the one that got rid of Biden and put Trump in there. Harry, good afternoon.
What's going on?
Hey, how you feeling this morning? I know you got the candidate of choice in there.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at all the most awful people, they're so angry. I mean, look at the people. You get 2 of them come on your program back to back. The one guy who wanted to
burn America, burn Hollywood, burn.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Is that like stealing Gucci belts again? Or
oh my God! How do you feel about now? Trump referenced some of those mob robberies, like stealing Gucci belts and stealing Coach purses, where they go in the store and they rob the whole store blind, a whole bunch of people. Trump stated that you could end that type of stuff by giving the police the ability to have a violent hour. And he used the term, I mean really violent. Let the police be really violent to those folks for a solid hour, and you could end that. Would you support something like that?
Bro, if you have to like take back a city from like a violent mob, like it's never gonna look good. I mean, even Hurricane Katrina.
That ain't what we're talking about. We're talking about everybody going into a CVS and stealing stuff off the shelves or something like that. Do you believe the police should be allowed to be really violent to them?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's a violent act. Like, yeah, you like match the violence. So if you're doing like smash and grabs and stuff like that, yeah, like that's like no good.
All right, fair enough.
You gotta finish that no matter what. That's not allowed in our country. Sorry.
Finish that. What is this, Mortal Kombat? Finish him?
Yeah. If you let that stuff, like, if you're like soft on that and you start blaming, it's like, oh, it's like the young teens and they don't have like swimming pools or whatever, like whatever the Chicago mayor said. Yeah, it's just not going to cut it. In like a moral society, those people get either thrown in prison or dealt with.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you the third question. What went wrong with Kamala Harris's campaign and with the Democrats? What was it? Why do you think the Democrats lost by so much? They got beat badly. Why do you think they lost by so much?
The campaign was mostly just like bitching and whining about Trump, and then they were bragging about the economy, which, I mean, I don't think that played well for them. The housing prices just keep going up. The food prices are terrible. And when you shove like a bunch of like experts data in your face, like Harry Sisson would love to just say like, no, the economy's great, crime is down, Kamala Harris is, responsible for all of it. I think a lot of that shoots yourself in the foot because people, like real Americans that are looking at real everyday stuff, they just see the opposite and they're going to vote that way.
So are you really blaming the Vice President Kamala Harris for the policies of the Biden administration? I mean, is the Vice President really?
Well, everyone knows that she was just going to be 4 more years of the same. Like, she's the same regime that, like, either the Biden, like, she's not going to be like a massive player that's going to go in there and make big change, right?
I want to disagree with you on the notion that she was just going to be 4 more years of Biden, but unfortunately I can't, because she went on The View and they asked her, what would you do different from Biden? And she was like, I can't even think. That was, to me, by far the worst answer I've ever seen to a question, where you can't even say you would do anything different than Biden at a time when Biden is incredibly unpopular. So I want to disagree with you, and I would certainly do it if I could, but I really can't, because she answered that question so damn bad.
Yeah, there wasn't really any good policy explanations or running on emotion, running on women, the whole coconut tree thing. There was excitement for a little bit when they switched Biden out, but fizzled out pretty quick.
Yeah, I got a ton of...
For Trump, it was just destined. I mean, it just seemed like it was perfect karma. The system went after him. So it's a good end to his story, I feel like,
Do you think he should do some of the stuff he's promising, like go after Comey and Mueller and all of the folks he's promising to go? Do you think he should actually follow up on that?
I want him to be as bad as they say and worse. Total retribution. Dismantle the entire
I'm trying to come
unelected bureaucrat regime that's over there in Washington.
So you say you want him to be a president of retribution. So my second question I've been asking folks is, do you think Trump's term will be less divisive or more? Sound like you want it to be divisive.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about I'm not running on unity, right? We want to run on America first,
Why do you want division?
Well, it's just a byproduct of change, right? All the institutions are captured by bad actors and some of the most evil people in the world, but they're infiltrated through Hollywood, banking, the media, and government. They're all playing on the same team. And for these people to be ripped from their seats of power, they're not going to go quietly. They're going to use all the tools they have, and they're going to call it hateful. They're going to call it, a lot of people are going to fall for the lies that they tell, and they're going to say it's division. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. There's going to be so many useful idiots that are going to be fighting for these people to their last breath, pretty much, for lack of better terms. And yeah, it's going to be divisive.
Do you believe he can do all of this in a mere 4 years, or do you think
No. Trump's more of an avatar. He's kind of we need to see how we're going to game plan this and move the MAGA movement forward after this next 4 years. We're going to have to, closely monitor what he does here.
Do you, based on what you're saying, is there any validity in your opinion to the notion that not only does he want to be a divisive president, but some folks are claiming that he may try to stay in office longer than 4 years? Do you believe there's any validity to that?
I don't see that. I mean, he just doesn't seem... I mean, it'd be cool. It'd be pretty funny if he just...
Funny?
If he somehow just... was able to capture the power like that. I think that would just be hilarious, honestly.
So if he was to subvert the republic in democracy, you would find that to be humorous?
Yeah. If he went in there and was all right, we're going to suspend the legislator, and he took total control of the military, and he was running on total executive action, through some sort of martial law or something, and just completely suspended the legislator, sent home all the bureaucrats, and was managing as just him and a team of loyalists, that would be fucking awesome.
So you want Trump to be, I won't say want, but you would prefer him more in a dictator setting. You sound like you're favorable to it.
Yes.
Why? One man.
It's just more effective, right? If you want to make change, if you want real change and you want effective leadership, there's no arguing that that's the